Okay, it looks like we're in. The stream is live. If you do hear a lot of background noise or a steady background noise because my mic is showing that it's being picked up, is basically just the natural sounds of the house. So you know, the furnace and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and pop out my chat. Okay, so okay, one second. My chat. So since the last time I streamed, which was yesterday, pretty much I have gained not an upgrade, but a what do you call it? A promotion to the homicide desk. So if I'm not mistaken, this case has something to do with the Black Dahlia. So we are going to be checking that out to make sure that, you know, just to see what's going on. You know, I'm trying to be as quiet as I can. It's currently 6:30 in the morning, so, you know, I'm trying not to be too loud. But let me get comfortable and let's go.
It's a working neighborhood. Some trouble, but nothing like this. It's known locally as the Moors.
You were first on the scene?
Yes, Detective.
No one's disturbed the body?
No, sir. We cleared out them vulture reporters so Pinker and the coroner could work. They're waiting to talk to you.
Go house to house and see what you come up with.
This is on the Nintendo Switch as well, so I do want to at least point that out. This isn't the PC version, even though I have the PC version. I just think that the Switch is a fantastic system.
Victim's back. Looks brand new. Can't be the one used on the body.
I think that the Nintendo Switch should be, well, I mean, it's already selling pretty much as it most likely could sell.
Looks like some kind of puzzle or parlor game. Bomba Club. Why steal a table lighter?
Who gonna go through all that just to light their damn cigarette? What type of shit is that? I think that the Switch, now that they've announced the Switch OLED, I think that was, like, I see why they would do that, but at the same time, I feel like Nintendo missed out on a big chance to essentially upgrade the hardware, even though I know that it is a tough spot to be in with the
What can you tell me about the
shortage
shoe prints?
of chips and stuff like
Men
that.
size 8. Pinker lifted impressions for me to compare back at the lab. Cause of death? Could be the head injuries. She has been badly stomped. The cuts look superficial. I'll know for sure in an hour.
What caused the blunt force injury to the face?
Could be anything from a baseball bat to a lug wrench. I'll have more details after the autopsy.
That is a horrible way to go. Very horrible way to go.
What about this wound on the finger?
She's missing a
Something
ring.
removed. A ring, most likely. I assume it was taken post-mortem. Interesting. What does the writing on the victim mean? BD, Black Dahlia, X. Your guess is as good as mine. Could be something to it, or it could be the killer's trying to throw you off the scent. Either way, I'll run tests on the lipstick.
Any idea of the time of death?
And the temperature, I'd say after midnight. I'll confirm with you later.
When we get to the bomba, man could die of thirst in a case like this.
Okay, so there's somebody out here bludgeoning women to death and then writing all types of crap on their corpse. So, you know, that's not fun. Go and let my partner drive.
You're behind the wheel.
The werewolf?
For my money, copycat.
We can't rule it out. We need to work the evidence.
You'd love that, wouldn't you? A big head to hang on your wall. The caller of the decade. I've been working evidence on BD case for 6 months and got nixed.
There's a difference, Rusty.
Oh, yeah?
I just started working it today.
Okay, oddshot. What's more likely? The werewolf comes back around, leaving us unknown in the corpse?
He clearly has a thing for power. Power over women. Why not power over the police department as well?
Let me finish, Phelps. A guy opens his mouth again after 6 months of stewing. For some opportunist who's been reading about the BD figures, he'll rip off the MO and get himself a freebie.
That's not totally fantastic.
Well, an Examiner and the Daily News might be good at coming up with markers, but they're terrible for police work. There's a reason we didn't get the son of a bitch after the short murder. It was them, locusts.
Where do you think the werewolf killer is now?
Dead by his own hand, stationed somewhere else with the armed forces. San Quentin, another town, another country, who knows? So Phelps, I understand you want to turn this into a big case, but it doesn't work like that, all right? A case will come and find you. You can't make it something it ain't, understand?
So you don't think the werewolf has continued to operate in the Los Angeles area?
No chance. You would have found me.
It's pretty interesting. I wonder if the real life killer was ever caught. Let me go ahead and charge up my phone because, you know, phone chargers. Okay, so it looks like, what was I about to look up? case was never solved. That sucks. The real life Black Dahlia was never caught. Let me move my mic somewhere a little different. I'm trying to move things around the desk so that way I can sit in my chair a little bit different, just a little bit different and not be obstructive. You know how it is.
Gentlemen, what can I get you?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Were you working here last night?
Yes. How can I help, officer?
You can start with your name.
Garrett Mason.
You're the regular bartender on nights?
I'm a temporary barman. I work for an agency. I fill in at bars across town.
Do you remember a woman who came in here last night? 5'7", about 110 pounds, blonde hair, about 40 years of age.
You mean Celine Henry?
Yes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves you most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss him. Is there anything else?
Fire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched. Pour me 3 fingers of rye.
What's a hibiscus?
Detective Phelps, LAPD. We're investigating the murder of Celine Henry. You know her?
Celine? Christ.
Hibiscus, that must be the flower.
Sure, I know her. She and I and Jacob are
House officer.
We go way back.
She was here last night?
Sure, she's a regular. Celine was a lovely woman.
You know the husband?
Sure, I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. Put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
Let's look at the. Let's go bad cop, because I don't think we can accuse him of this crime.
So if it wasn't Jacob, then you probably let her out of here with the guy who killed her. How do you feel about that?
Stow the attitude, will ya? I tried to get onto Jacob. I rang him up. Asked him to come pick her up, like usual. But he refused. She picked some night to push him over the edge. I rang him back around 11:30, but got no answer.
The one thing I love about the Switch is that you can play these games on TV mode like I am, so I can stream. And then yesterday I was streaming. I streamed twice yesterday. I streamed twice. The first time I was feeling like a little off, like just wasn't feeling it. And then the second stream I streamed a little bit of this, and then I took the game upstairs and spent some time with my sisters, and before they got on with their nights
So?
and all that.
We done?
And I think this is fantastic what the Switch is doing. I think that it needs to be more powerful, because in handheld mode there are certain games that look so bad that it's like ridiculous.
Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
And let me guess, you were before Jacob. Look at him. I feel like this game is trying to tell people that, like, when people think that they so smart, like trying to lie to police about how many tells, because like I'm pretty sure when he's talking he's probably like, yo, I'm not that. Let's look at the, you know, I'm lying pretty good.
I think you know where the ring came from, and I think you're gonna tell me.
Okay, I bought it years ago. I carried a torch for Selena those days. As I always have. But old man never knew about it.
Was Mrs. Henry here with anyone last night?
Not at first. Celine already had quite a head start.
She attracted attention.
Certainly. A few gentlemen became very enamored with her and her stories. One guy in particular.
You know him?
No. He's been in a couple of times.
Did they leave together?
Yes. At around 11. If it helps, I made the guy's license plate.
I think this could be a great help, sir. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Cole. Been a big help. One more thing. Would you have an address for Celine?
142 North Union Avenue. God knows I had to send her home in enough cabs to remember that.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My stool was just starting to warm up nicely.
You find the booze helps you get through a working day?
Sharpens my investigatory instincts, Phelps.
A smart lawyer might use that to throw out anything you collect today.
A smart man might know it's unwise to stand between the patient and his medicine.
As long as you're not falling over, Rusty, I'll let it slide.
That's mighty kind of you, Phelps. You know, you picked the wrong job if a healthy thirst offends you, Cole.
We owe it to this city to do the best we can in this position. As homicide detectives, that responsibility is all the more serious.
Always the politician.
It's not political, it's practical. Maybe the men combing Hollywood Boulevard after the Elizabeth Short murder were more interested in sniffing out booze than the clues that would have led to her killer.
Yeah, well, if only you'd...
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. I'll need to contact the DMV. Shall I relay the details via KGPL?
Please. Thanks for your help.
This game is a little rough, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to drive like for real in this game. But the one thing about this the switch that I feel like needs to be addressed is the power of the hardware, because I can't pinpoint exactly where I heard this, but that mobile technology moves like really fast, and with the Switch getting an OLED model, my fear is that instead of Nintendo saying, "Hey, this instead of saying, "Hey, this thing is a console and a handheld," they're gonna just go ahead and just consider it a handheld, and the next console after the Switch is gonna be like not portable at all. So it'll be the Switch will be taking the place of the 3DS, and then what's gonna happen is I believe that eventually they're gonna stop selling the Switch with the dock, and then once the next, like, the TV mode, or the standard console where you can't play it portably will be their flagship, and then they're gonna use the Switch Lite as the 3DS. So whereas they had the 3DS, and then let's say like a Wii U, even though you can play some stuff on the tablet, it was like mainly a TV. You were still in the same room with your TV. That's my fear. So instead of them saying, "Oh, we're gonna bump up the processing power or the graphical power," so that way, essentially the Steam Deck, right? The Steam Deck is powerful, is boasting a few hours battery life depending on the game. Like I know that if I remember correctly, it was like 3 to 8 hours, but yet it's still, you know. Okay, I was just looking online to see if there was any control for the blinker, because you see other characters when you're tailing them use the blinker. Like, see that car right there, those yellow cars, they're using blinkers. And yeah, so back to the Switch. I feel like with them putting out the Switch OLED, and on October 8th with the launch of Metroid Dread, I just feel like that's the future of the Switch. That the Switch is gonna be.
All units, officer detail, 211 and shots fired. 391 Broadway, Mallory's Cafe, 391 Broadway. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Yeah, that's just me and my personal opinion. I just feel as if, like, the Steam Deck is gonna do what the Switch should have done, which was prioritize basically both styles of play by saying, hey, you can dock this. You can dock this and you can play it in handheld mode, but Nintendo's gonna say, no, it's a handheld. And most people are gonna be like, wait, what? No, I use it only. See, that's the issue with putting out something, a console that can be handheld and can be played on your TV, because what ends up happening is that millions of people are going to use both sides. But why is everybody stopping? There's no light here. Why are we stopping? There's literally no light. But yeah, so what I would, when basically Nintendo has to choose their next focus for the next console, they're gonna have to basically say, even though people use both, when we move on, what are we gonna consider this to be? And I'm somebody that mainly plays my Switch in handheld mode, so Nintendo putting out an OLED screen does appeal to me, but at the same time, it's like, nah, like give me the option to do both. And if you're gonna, because here's the thing, the OLED screen doesn't even make sense even from a handheld. Even from a handheld perspective, because I've played Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, and I was there playing it in handheld mode where the game looks like just straight up Vaseline. It looks like, I know that may sound weird, but to gamers, they know exactly what I'm talking about. It basically seems as though it needed more power because the visuals were horrendous. And let me tell you something, this is how you know Mutant Year Zero is a good game. I played that entire game plus the DLC, the Seeds of Evil DLC, and handheld mode. And to be honest, when I got done, I said this needs more power. So when Nintendo says, hey, you get a better color contrast, because I think that's the whole point of the OLED, it's like vibrant colors, your colors are gonna look more alive, more vivid. I just don't think that's a fair trade-off when you have games in handheld mode who honestly just look straight garbage. It's like, if I didn't love that game as much as I did, then it's like, excuse me, if I didn't love that game as much as I did, and I do love Mutant Year Zero, I've beaten the base game when it came out on Game Pass on Xbox, and then I played the the game again on the Switch, plus the game on the Switch, plus I got the DLC. And it's like, come on, yo, like, if you gonna focus on what is that, handheld play, you gotta make sure that handheld play, because I'm telling you, that's exactly what Steam is doing. Steam is saying this thing is powerful. I'm hearing that the Steam Deck, it will play games at around like that PS4 level, So to me, I'm looking at this as like, oh, okay, so if this is going to be looking good, and not only that, but the Steam Deck is going to really, really do good for mobile gaming in general. It's going to force... Okay, so if that's the house, where's their driveway? it's gonna force people to say, okay, if a million people play, let's say Resident Evil 2 remake, which I call all the Resident Evils like RE remake, and then I'll go 2 make, 3 make. They about to have a 4 make, and basically, if Valve says, hey, you can play Resident Evil 2 remake, and let's say a million people play it on Valve's Steam Deck, that means that Nintendo has an issue, because now a million people have now played one of the best survival horror games in recent memory, and just be
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
and basically Nintendo has to say, hey, if people are playing, a million people play Resident Evil 2 remake on handheld mode, then that means that, you know, we need to do what we need to do, because gamers like playing this type of game. And Capcom may say, hey, you know, the Switch is entirely way too, you know, it's way too weak for the remake. Then Nintendo's gonna lose a lot of revenue. You know, they're gonna miss out on a major opportunity.
Side window's been jimmied. Looks like somebody's creeped the joint.
So what I believe is that Valve jumping into the handheld market is going to force Nintendo to say, okay, for a long time we've always been focused on, you know, solid gameplay, you know, the Mario series, you know, because that's the way I view Nintendo. I view Nintendo as that company that doesn't focus on raw power or raw, you know, technology. You know,
Burglar used a pry bar. Why did you kick the door in?
Think I'm gonna climb through a broken window in a $30 suit? You got another thing coming, Buster.
shit, if a suit was 30, you could probably clothe yourself with like $5-10. I wish it was prices like that nowadays.
So Lynn and Jacob are obviously having problems. Speaks to motive.
Crime scene evidence still weighs against it being a husband. Jacob could give us something to go on. One of my exes drank like this, you'd be feeling the back of my hand.
Call in burglary and get technical services out here. I'll talk to the neighbors.
Don't take all day about it, Phelps. I'll get nasty when I'm thirsty. Galloway, Homicide, badge number 564. Requesting technical services for a suspected 459 at 142 North Union.
Was that some type of goggle?
Nothing significant.
Like swimming goggles. Oh, hold on. What's that? A book? I didn't find all the clues.
You said I had to go back, Doctor.
Fires are cathartic. They allow you to confront your past.
You said the house would be empty.
Are you taking the medication I have prescribed?
You said the house would be empty. I heard them screaming.
Circumstances were unfortunate. My colleagues had made all the necessary
You
arrangements.
said the house would be empty. You're killing me.
The deaths were unfortunate. But you have dealt with death before.
I want you to come to the clinic and we can deal with
You said the house would be empty. How can I find peace?
I'm a villain. There has to be something else in here. Oh, what's this? Oh, not a clue, that's for sure.
Circumstantial.
Yeah, but it's still a key. So that's her bedroom.
Regular Amelia Earhart per day. The ring looks distinct.
She was a fighter pilot.
Tiffany. The rest of this stuff is junk. Might explain the missing ring.
I doubt it.
Okay, that's all the clues. Now it's time to go speak to the neighbors. But yeah, back to the Switch. I believe that the Switch is just making a big mistake with an OLED model. Because, you know, the thing about the Switch is that the Switch needs to keep up. Like, the Switch doesn't need to be as powerful as the rest of the gaming consoles, but it does need to be powerful enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? It needs to be powerful enough so that whatever Microsoft and Sony does, it's not trailing too far behind, and the Switch can get ports.
LAPD. Are you acquainted with Celine Henry?
Horgan. Jennifer Horgan. I've known Celine for more than 10 years. Our children grew up together. What's going on, officer?
Did you see Mrs. Henry go out last night?
Well, I'm no busybody, you understand, but Celine had been drinking. And she and poor, long-suffering Jacob had a terrible row. I think Jacob may have given her a black eye. He stormed out and she went back inside.
Did he come back?
No. Celine was listening to music and shouting until she left around 10 p.m. She was very drunk to have been driving. But she is not the sort of person you can stop from doing something when her dander is up. What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh my God. I'm afraid I need to go and sit down.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is by far, like, you know, when I think about the Switch, I'm like, okay, you know, you're good when it comes to like the PS3. Like, this is a PS3 and 360 era title. And this looks good, plays good, you know what I'm saying? But the issue becomes once the PS5 comes, once the hell is that sound? Oh, you heard about me, baby?
I was so tight, I couldn't walk.
set of socks.
I am like super hungry. What the hell? I got some leftover Chinese food from yesterday. Yeah. Yep, that'll do it. She probably knows something.
Just give me some time to myself, please.
Okay, so investigate. Okay, so we need to get to a phone. Is there a phone in here? I thought there was a phone. Oh, there it is. Can't use it though. Look at my partner in the seat already.
Let's see what Jacob has to say for himself.
I don't think Jacob is our man, but we should see what he has to say.
Jacob Henry had a violent argument with his wife last night. He's looking more and more likely.
For my money, the broad keeps the house looking like that, so probably deserved it. Skipper says bring him in and keep the hacks off our backs for a while.
Fine by me.
So it ain't the werewolf killer after all. Good to see you've come to your senses, Cole.
I always said work the evidence. I only stipulated a connection to the BD killer as an avenue of investigation we should leave open. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is.
Like imagine Resident Evil Village basically getting a Switch port. That could never work. Because the Switch can't handle it. The Switch can't handle it. And I don't want the Switch to be like fantastic to, you know what I mean, until it gets outpaced, you know what I mean?
All units, officer detail, 211 and shots fired. 391 Broadway, Mallory's.
We gonna answer this call.
Broadway, unit to handle code 3, identify.
The fact that cars actually move over for you is crazy.
All units, officer detail, 211 and shots fired. 391 Broadway, Mallory's Cafe, 391 Broadway. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Go to hell, Parker! No way I'm going down without a fight.
Drop the weapon, hands behind your head.
Yeah? Fuck you too!
God damn it, get out! Put your hands in the air!
You just killed a cop, bro.
He's hiding in the alley. Give it up, LAPD! Don't make me chase you!
I will shoot your punk ass. Thought maybe if I shot him, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna try to give him a little flesh wound. Where'd he go?
Surrender now, or I will use death.
Oh, damn it. I tried to see if I shot him, if I could then go ahead. Damn it. Probably just killed the guy. I mean, he killed a cop, so I mean, you know.
This is Car 11 King. Advise all units that the 211 from Mallory's Cafe is code 4, AGPL.
Roger 11K, all units, 211 from Mallory's Cafe is code 4, repeat, code 4.
Damn, I really wish that you could, I really wish that you could, like, because I remember one of the earlier cases, I pretty much just shot the guy and then he like froze in place. I'm not sure if that's like a limitation of the switch or not. But yeah, back to what I was talking about before. I love the switch. I love the fact that you can play mini games. And for the most part, if it's from the 360, and PS3 generation, you're pretty much getting a better version, if I will. Can I drive through a fence? Of course not.
Okay, Phelps, we go in hard. Follow my lead.
Look, just casually walking with my piece out.
Jacob Henry?
Yeah. Who's asking?
LAPD. You're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Celine Henry.
Murder? Celine?
He's gonna
Saves it
fight.
dramatic
Oh my
for
God.
RKO, pal. You got bigger problems.
What the hell are you talking about? You come in here, you tell me that Celine is... Take a seat, Mr. Henry.
That she's...
We're gonna have a look around, then we'll talk.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
I give you the slightest signature.
This isn't.
Bruh, are you hearing my partner? He's basically like, bruh, if you even give me an inkling that you're gonna be a problem, bruh, it's gonna be, you ain't gonna make it up out of here.
You think the atmosphere is thick in the air? Wait till you try to cast it. He'll be back in.
Thanks for the offer. I need to do something about my wife. There's gonna be a name.
The oldest problem there is what to do about the old lady.
Oh wait, no, that said, thanks for the offer. I need you to do something about my wife. I thought that was somebody saying you need to control your wife, like you need to do something about your wife. And I'm like, oh,
Size 11s.
it's too big. The ones on the crime scene were men's size 8. So that means that oh, he has a hat similar to mine. What's over here? Nothing.
So who could have killed Celine? Where did she go last night?
The bar, I suppose. Look, I don't know.
You know something, bud.
You get the impression that Celine liked to live the glamorous life. How did she end up with a hump like you, Jacob?
Celine was one of the first woman pilots. She hung out with movie stars, royalty. But she came back here broke and struggling.
He must be a mechanic.
Married a mechanic.
Yeah.
Put a roof over her head, food on the table.
And it was never enough
Not
for her.
glamorous. Best I could do. I'm not ashamed about that.
Did I just fail that? Bro, what?
That's all? You got more in that goddamn book. Spit it out.
Bro, you better. I don't know what you don't do.
When did you last see your wife, Mr. Henry?
Last night. I went to see her. We talked. Things got a little out of hand. I left.
No, it's not. It's not good, Cobb. It's something. Yeah, we gonna accuse him.
That's a lie, and you know it. You tailed her, watched her come out of a bar, and then beat her to death. Admit it, Henry.
Why would I do that, Detective?
The marital problems.
My wife was
How
a
the
drunk.
hell did I get that
There was
wrong?
a sickness with her. Doesn't mean I didn't love her. Would you stop loving your wife if she was unwell?
No, I wouldn't.
I am striking the fuck out of here, man.
Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will go better if you come clean about it.
That's a lousy thing to say. I never gave up on my wife.
You went to her house, you fought, you beat her, she left, and then you followed her.
I left first. She tried to batter me with a frying pan. I had to slap her down.
Understandable.
Bruh. That seems how nah. That seems like the right answer.
So you can prove that you came back here after you left your wife's place.
I came back here. I was here all night. Start work at 6:30. Nothing going out tight.
Oh yeah. That's
You
accused.
called the bar to give yourself an alibi. Then you went after her, beat her, dumped her in a park. I think you are a sack of shit, Jacob.
You're not gonna pin Celine's death on me. I'll take a lie detector test to prove it.
McCall says he called and called and you didn't pick up.
I tried to get her help, and she laughed in my face. Well, then, of course, she needs me. I'd had enough. No one has their limit.
We're still gonna need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jake. How you got set up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
You was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're gonna tell me you loved her? Ah, the DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
You're awful hot under the collar for an innocent man, Mr. Henry.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't look good for you, Jacob.
Oh, damn. Oh man. Oh yeah. What?
Call it in.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
The fighter mechanics are really weird.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective. You have a message from the coroner. Do you wish to be put through?
Yes, ma'am.
Carruthers,
It's Phelps.
I've completed the autopsy. Several wounds to the head from a blunt metal instrument. Closest match would be a socket wrench handle.
So the cause of death was the blunt.
No, the blows to the head surprisingly were not fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything else?
He's some kind of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch, but no trace of semen in the anus, vagina, or stomach.
Thanks, Doc. Operator, give me R&I. Any word on an owner for that vehicle? License was 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. The plate belongs to a brown 1936 Pontiac. Registered owner is one Alonzo Mendez of 402 South Fremont Street, apartment 16.
Thanks. Any other messages?
One, Detective. From Captain Donnelly. He wants any and all suspects returned to Central. Interviews to be set up immediately.
Got it. We're coming in. Alonzo Mendez. Sound like a man who moonlights as the werewolf?
Don't sound like a man up.
You can drive.
Carruthers said she took a real pounding.
Maybe if he had been a little firmer in the beginning, he wouldn't be in this situation now.
I imagine that Neanderthal routine is a big hit with the ladies, Galloway.
Women love me, Phelps. I have no complexity. They know exactly what they're gonna get.
Yay, yay. So this is the man that left with her that night.
Mendez, apartment 16.
So the 4th floor. 1, 2, 3.
Don't bother knocking, just kick the door in.
Oh, I'm like,
Take a
yo.
look around and see what you can find.
For a second, I thought my controller was bugging. Like, why am I running when I clearly wasn't pressing the run button?
Gotta get this to Ray. Size 8s could help place Mendez at the scene. Consistent with Celine's injuries. The blood can be typed. Brothers could match the color and brand of the body.
What type of person kills somebody?
We have the murder weapon. Better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these clowns are geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break. Captain Donald will begin to like you.
Hey! What gives? LAPD, you're under arrest.
Who the
Do
fuck
not lose that son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
Mendez, stop right there!
More, man. Don't be an asshole.
You don't need to do this, Alonzo!
Get in and drive. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out.
I'm trying. Oh, I remember. I'm having flashbacks. This gave me.
I got an idea.
My God.
Get him next to my window, Cole. Keep me alongside his vehicle, and I'll stop the son of a bitch. go to sleep on me. Get me back in close. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
You're under arrest for the murder of Celine Henry.
This guy just had like a whole evidence, like just everything. I'm like, wait, you ain't think to throw it at least under the bed?
I ain't saying a goddamn thing.
Come on, man, you gotta do better than that.
You did a grand job, lads. Phelps, that's quite a way to acquit yourself in your first outing as a homicide investigator. It seems the city has a new and vengeful guardian. Considering the evidence against your suspect and the thoroughness with which a report was compiled, I foresee a safe passage through the courts, and the DA agrees with me. Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people and the press of this city.
I done did all the work and these two get the drinks and shit. Come on. The suspect is in the bag, even if you did leave Jacob sweating. It's central lockup. I mean, yeah. Cole Phelps. You feeling that jazz singer? You feeling her? Like, look how good this game looks.
Galloway. Got it, Skipper. Yeah, I'll bring him. He's my partner, after all.
What have we got?
New case. White female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over. Captain's trying to fend them off.
Sounds awfully similar.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you to have your newspaper face on your collar. I think I know the place where they found the lady. It overlooks Sunset Boulevard. Let's go.
Damn, I'm hungry as hell. Let me go get some breakfast. I'm gonna stop the stream and then start streaming again a little later.